Okay, so I'm gonna talk tonight about branding and like literally keeping it so easy, keeping it so simple. Just opening it up. My wine. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna keep it super simple. Just literally talking about branding. When I started to think about actually branding, it wasn't until a long time into when I like into coaching. Um, and honestly, it was like really recent. And I've been coaching since January of 2016. So it'll be 2 years in January. And it was very, very recent that I actually started to think about branding and what I was and really like got my head wrapped around it. But for a long time, I had no idea what it was. I had no idea how to even go about it. And it stressed me out so much. So when I finally figured it out, and I started to really kind of actually implement it, it started to turn around. And this was, I would say, honestly, like I basically literally relaunched my business in July. Up until up until July, I struggled hard, and it was like an up and down battle. It was like a dabbling into coaching. And in July is when I started to I went full-time coaching, did my part-time jobs just for fun. They were not to make an extra income or to make like a reliable income. They were just for extra income. They were just for fun. I love doing what I do outside of coaching. So it was in July that I really dove in, and it was right after Summit. And honestly, it's funny because you hear all of these coaches literally say, like, go to Summit. It's the best thing in the entire world. And when I went to Summit last year, my first Summit, I came back and was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. It's going to change my business. And nothing fucking changed. And I was so angry. And then for a year almost, I kind of just dabbled in things, and I went up and down, and I tried new things, but I was not consistent with it. And that was just because I had other priorities. It was actually Maddie who you went in June. I don't know if you remember, but you were literally like called me out, gut check, and was like, "You need to figure out if this is your plan A." And that was honestly what got me. It was like, this needs to be plan A. So that's really when this whole branding thing started to happen. And I've been wanting to talk about this, but I've been wanting to put it into action first to really prove to you what it is, what I do, how I keep it so simple. Because ever since July, it has been a no fucks given kind of attitude towards the business, in the sense that I do what I want. I do what I am feeling good about. I do what makes me happy. I do what makes me excited. And that's what I lead with in my business. And that has been working for me. My income skyrocketed. My team is growing. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. And that's really when it started, was when I said, this is what I'm going to do. So branding you, building a brand on being you is the theme, okay? Hang on, let me open it full screen. You guys always catch me as I'm like trying to sneakily drink my sip during. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, and you can type it in the chat, somehow I can bring up the chat. But you're going to type in the chat the 5 things about you. What are 5 things about you? What are 5 things that instantly come to your mind that you're known for, that you're like, who are you? Who are you? What are you known for? Pick 5. They don't have to be the 5, but pick 5. Somehow I need to figure out where the chat is. Chat. Okay, so write down the 5 things. I'm going to zip through this, so be fast. Be zippity. Somehow. I'm sure I can close this. Okay. So write down 5 things of who you are, what you are, whatever. And then you're going to write down 5 things that you want to be. Who do you want to be? You don't have to be right now the person that you want to be. When I first started coaching, I wanted to be this super consistent, healthy person. And I am now, but I was not when I started, was not. I wanted to be this positive person. I am now. I was not when I first started. I was a miserable bitch when I started. So now, compared to when I first started, it's completely different. So who do you want to be? What do you want to be? What are the characteristics that you want to be? Write them down. I don't see anybody chatting in the chat. Get your fingers typing. I see you. Okay. Let's move on. So, who are you? And who do you want to be? That's the first step. That's the first thing that you need to figure out if you haven't already done so. And honestly, I do this all the time. I'm a motherfucking boss. I love it. That's literally what I do all the time. I figure out, who am I? Am I consistent? Like, am I posting to who I am? And am I posting to who I want to be? So I've always wanted to be this like goal-driven, badass, does what she says she's going to do kind of person. But I'm not actually that person. However, I want to be her. I want to be this person that sets a goal and actually accomplishes it. That has never been my reality, but I want it to be. So I try to be that person. I have that written down on my list, a goal-driven and a goal accomplisher. So I have that written down. You can have that written down too. I don't know why this is not, okay. Okay, so who are you and who do you want to be? Branding you. What is your thing? What is your thing? I heard a podcast today from Caitlin Bristow, I think is her last name. She was on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and she's fucking funny. She does this free podcast. It's called Off the Vine if you want to go and literally laugh because it's so funny. But literally I was listening to this Vine, and I used to follow her on Snapchat. And last year with her fiance, who literally she's still with them from The Bachelorette, they used to do this funny thing where he was a guy. So it was like, what kind of guy do you want to be? And he would come up with all these different ideas. He wanted to be a fitness guy. He wanted to be oh shit, what were all the other ones? They were like just funny things. Like, I want to be a wine guy. I want to be a funny guy. I want to be a coffee mug guy. Somebody that is like known for this coffee mug. I want to be, a cooking guy, like whatever it is. What kind of guy do you want to be right now? What type of person do you want to be right now? So what do you want people to know you for? And what are the spunky things that set you apart or will make you stand out? So this can change, just as a reminder. Don't overthink it. You don't have to say right now, I want to be a wine guy. Like for me, I'm like, I want to be a wine guy. I want to be a pizza. Like I'm like obsessed with pizza. It is literally the love of my life, along with wine and next to Kyle, maybe above Kyle. So those are my things. But maybe in 5 years from now, I'm not going to want pizza. I don't like pizza, but I don't have to stress about that. Okay. So don't stress about what kind of things or what kind of, what's your thing? But what is it right now? What are you into right now? What are the things that you want to be known for right now? And don't overthink whether or not you have to stick with it. Just have a thing. What kind of guy do you want to be? That's literally like all I keep thinking about. I'm like, what kind of guy are you going to be today? What kind of guy are you going to be this week, this month, this year? So just to give you some examples, for me, my things are pizza. People know me for loving pizza. People know me for loving wine, for fitness, for balanced nutrition. So mostly not that I'm like a food poster, but they know me as somebody who struggled with nutrition and now has a balance. That's kind of what's my thing. I used to struggle with a bad relationship with food. And now I have a good relationship with food and I know how to balance. People know me, my thing is that I lost weight. It's inevitable. I post about it all the time. People know me for my mental transformation. They know that I talk a lot about self-care, about self-love, about transformation, mindset, all of that stuff, right? Like I talk a lot about it. People know me as being happy. My thing is that I'm happy. My thing is that I smile a lot. My freaking hair is stuck in my glasses on a constant basis. People know me as being happy. People know me as being the girl that smiles all the time, that's happy all the time. Doesn't matter what I'm going through, I'm always happy. I always showcase being happy. And people know me as being with Kyle, right? Like people know me. I've been with him for almost 8 years. That it's just a thing. Like they just know me as being a pair with Kyle. So when I post about things about him, with him, whatever, I get a lot of interaction because people know me as being with Kyle. And I don't have to be a victim of abuse, which is what really drives who I am. But I am not on my social media. I am not a victim of abuse, right? That's where I came from. That's what I come from, and that's where all my lessons learned. That's like kind of what shaped who I was and who I am. But that's not who I have to be just because that's what I went through. I created me and my brand and this vision, like this pizza, wine, fitness, balanced nutrition, weight loss, mental transformation, happy, and Kyle. I created that. That does not have to be what you come from and what you went through. It doesn't have to be your brand. So don't feel stuck. For literally 1.5 years, like on the way home from Summit, I talked about this with Kyle, and I was like, I feel like I am stuck. I feel like I should be sharing my story about, my childhood and whatever, because that's who I am. But it's not. It's not really who I am. It's just a part of me, and I don't have to feel obligated to share that. So don't get stuck in that. Don't get stuck in what you feel you should be and what your brand should be. You can create it to be whatever the hell you want it to be. You can create it to be whatever you want to be known for. Okay. So what are the things you actually want to talk to people about? This has got to be the biggest freaking thing. The biggest mistake that I personally made, and that I literally see so many coaches making, is they talk about things that they think they should talk about as a coach. You don't have to talk about food if you're a coach if you don't want to. You don't have to talk about working out and that you love working out if you don't actually like it. You don't have to talk about personal development if you don't actually like talking about personal development. Talk about the things that you actually want to talk about. And when I say, what are the things that you actually want to talk about with people? This is things that you want to have conversations about. If somebody were to message you, oh my God, I just read your post and I love meditation, but you actually hate meditation, why would you feel inspired to have a conversation about that? You wouldn't. So talk about or be things that you actually want to talk about. So what are you interested in? What lights a fire up inside of you, health or not health related? So I don't know, like comment in the comments. What are things about you that, I don't know, that you like to talk about? Like for me, I like to talk about kittens. I love it, Kirk. Yep. Like more than that, like what are things that you would love to have a conversation with about with somebody in like the grocery store? If you guys just literally both said the same word, that would like light you guys up and you would want to have a conversation about it. What is it? For me, if somebody said, oh my God, I'm going to get a pizza, I would be like, stop. I'm coming home with you. Can we have a pizza and wine party? Because that, like literally pizza, I don't think people understand how much I love pizza. I love pizza. I love it. If people talk to me about traveling, like Thailand, let's say they were going to Thailand, or they've been to it, or they're going somewhere, or they were lately I've been wanting to travel to Europe. So if somebody was traveling to Europe or planning to, they've already been, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with them. Fitness. I love fitness. There's no denying it. I love fitness. I love being healthy. But I also love pizza. So I also love the balance aspect of things. I love mental health, but specifically, I want to talk to people who want to get better. I don't want to talk to people who want to complain about their lives. That is not the point or conversation that I want to have with people. So when I'm building my brand, I build around wanting to talk about or to connect with people who want to become better. I talk about it all the time. I wanted to become better. That is where I was when I first started coaching. That is where I am now. I am constantly on a consistent path, a consistent journey of wanting to be better. So I want to talk to people who want to be better. What else here? Reading good books. I would love to chat with somebody who's reading a good book, specifically a personal development book. Yoga, meditation, being healthy, being in a healthy relationship. I love talking about me and Kyle. I love it. I love how happy we are. I love that I can talk about him. I used to say, and still do, that I want to like literally duplicate him and give him out to people because our relationship is so great. So I want to talk to people who are in great relationships and hear their love stories. I want to talk about wedding planning. I don't actually really enjoy wedding planning until maybe recently. So I love talking about that with other people, like connecting about whether they like it, they don't like it, hearing their stories and whatever. And I love talking about, being an entrepreneur, whether that's with somebody who is a coach or isn't, maybe somebody who wants to be gymnastics, past, you get the point. So these things that you want to talk about with other people, like genuine conversations, small talk, these are the things that you're going to post about, and these are the ideas that you're going to use as hashtags. Go to another call that we've done on Instagram about building hashtags and using hashtags and why and where and how and whatever. But these are what you're going to use as your hashtags because these are the things that you genuinely want to have conversations with about for people. This is your brand. I am these things. I am those things right there that I want to talk about. That's me. That's my brand, right? So that is what you are going to want use to talk about to other people. Okay. Additionally, what do you actually want to help people with? This is more specific into what you're going to post about. So what are your real passions? They can be health related or not. They don't always have to be about fitness and health. Maybe you are somebody who loves budgeting. Okay, I am like a big budgeter. However, I don't necessarily want to help people with it because I'm still not that great with budgeting. I love it. I love putting like a budget together and trying to stick to it and whatever, but that's not necessarily, let's say that's something I wanted to help people with. Another thing is, like a new thing is wedding planning. Eventually, I'm going to start talking more and more and more about wedding planning because I want to help people with wedding planning. Maybe a free group that I'm going to run eventually is going to be how to plan a wedding on a minimal budget with having fun with it or not giving two shits about what other people think, right? That's something that's a passion. It has nothing to do with the challenge group. It has nothing to do with fitness or nutrition or mental health, nothing. But it's something that I want to actually genuinely help people. These are things that you are going to post specifically about. And these things that you want to help people are going to be a part of your brand. I guess the branding thing, I think people think about it as being like, so number one, set in stone, and number two, like a visual. It doesn't have to be a visual. A brand is you, who you are, what people are going to know you as. So go back to the beginning. Who are you? What are those things that you're interested in? What are the things that you want people to know you for? That is basically these things just asked in a bunch of different questions. So for example, for me, it's self-help, I want to help people with, transforming their mindset. It's a huge passion of mine now that I want to share that. I want to share with people to overcome fear and all of that. Fitness, balancing nutrition, their mindset and how it impacts them in the results. Pizza, obviously. Traveling, working from anywhere, balanced lifestyle, making a lot of money, being different. These are all things that I want to help people with. So I post about that. And that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to post about, and that will become your brand. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is the actual, how do we apply your brand and who you are to your business and how you're going to use it, how you're going to implement it. So posting, what the heck are you going to do? You are going to, basically, your posting is personal conversation previews. So when you go to somebody's Facebook page, let's say you go to my Facebook page, all those things that I posted about, like you do a quick scroll, A, those are things that I want to talk to you about. B, those are things that I'm going to talk to you about. If I were to start a conversation with you, you have already seen the things that I'm posting about. You know what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm either going to talk to you about your mental health post that you made, or I'm going to talk to you about pizza, or I'm going to talk to you about something that I've posted about. I'm not going to go to you and have a conversation about fashion. I suck at fashion. I don't give two craps about fashion. I don't want to talk to you about fashion. So I'm not going to start a conversation about fashion, right? So when you post, think about it as a personal conversation preview. It's directed towards the people, but also what people can expect of you, right? So showing who you are and what you're like. This is giving people a sneak peek about what you are, who you are, what you're all about. Maybe like some people who are into makeup and fashion and all that, they're not really going to connect with me because I don't post about that. I don't post about makeup. I don't post about fashion. I don't post about wanting to be interested in any of those things. But somebody who wants to be improving their mindset, wants to be happy, and wants to make a butt-fuck ton of money, they're going to connect with me, right? Somebody who's real and raw and just a normal person who doesn't really care so much about dressing up or whatever. Somebody who wants to live in their Lululemons and sweatshirts all day long. Those are the people who are going to connect with me, and those are the people who I'm going to have a conversation with because those are the previews that I've already given them. You're basically showing people what you have to offer, the value you have to offer, and who you are in your posting. That is how we utilize your brand by being you, right? Your brand becomes you. So your posting is your brand because that's who you are. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. Take what you want to talk about and mix it in with how you want to help somebody and help people and make a post. Don't be freaking weird. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. Don't be weird. Don't make a post thinking you have to make this post because you're a coach. Make a post because you feel good about it. I'm going to show you some examples. Okay, so this is an example about a post that I made on the weekend recently, last week, whatever it was. I want to help people make money, so I was talking about that. I want to help people live on their terms. So I talked about how I worked at a normal job that people told me to go and work at, and I hated it. It sucked. It was not for me. So now I'm at home and I get to talk, or I get to read a book at 8 o'clock in the morning and take the morning slow on my terms because I am in control. I'm living on my terms. And I want to talk to people and help people be brave and create that self-love relationship. So I talk about that. That's what I want to help people with. That's what I post about. I didn't post about how I I don't know, like something weird that I don't want to talk about. I literally posted about things that I want to help people with. Another example, I want to help people transform their bodies. Fitness is a passion. Fitness is something that I want to help people with. Fitness is something I want to connect with people on. I was that person on the left-hand picture. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I was. At some point, I was that girl. And I want to speak to that girl. And I want to tell her you can be the girl on the right-hand side, smiling so joyfully, and completely transformed her body. I didn't have a crap ton of weight to lose, but I had a lot of emotional baggage that was shown in that weight, right? And that's who I want to help. So I'm telling them what I have to offer. My brand is that I was that girl on the left, and I transformed my body to the girl on the right. That's who I am. That is my brand. The how I'm helping people, how I'm branding myself is being me. I was the girl on the left who was struggling with food and binge eating and horrible, horrible mindset. And I transformed into the girl that I am on the right-hand side. And I just want to create that for other people. That is my brand. This picture, these transformation pictures are pretty much my brand, like 50% of it, okay? And then this one here is a fun post that I did today, but it's still me. It's my brand. Number one, I'm smiling. I'm happy, obviously. Number two, I like muscles. I freaking like fitness. I like being strong. And I want to let people know that that's okay, that they feel that way too. They're allowed to like fitness. They are allowed to like muscles. And just being fun, being me, being fun, being happy, being joking, being badass. That's me. I don't have to be a girl that doesn't like muscles. I don't have to be a girl that is afraid or controlled by fear. I am me, and I want to help people overcome those things, okay? So that's my brand. I am happy, and that is my brand. So I get so many messages that are like, you're so happy, you look so happy. And when I read them, I kind of a little bit get frustrated because I'm like, if only you knew what I was going through, you would not think that I was that happy. But I realized that I really am. It doesn't really matter what I go through. No matter how many like mindset battles I'm struggling with, even in that hard time back in June when we lost Nona and I was struggling a lot with my own personal business, just struggling a lot. No matter what, I still was happy. That is who I am. I am optimistic. I am happy. I want people to feel happy and warm and joyful and excited when they see me. That is who I want to be. So go back to that very first slide, the very first question of who do you want to be and who are you? That is your brand, okay? I'm going to use Jess. I hope she doesn't mind. Jess is honest. When I think about Jess and her brand, and if I could put it into one word, more so like not necessarily the things, like obviously she likes pizza, she likes fitness, she has a weight loss transformation, but when I think about what Jess's brand is, it's honesty. It's real and it's raw. When I go back to mine, I'm happy. But when I think about Jess, she's honest and real and raw. So if you look at these pictures, I pulled the ones that are showing her being real and raw. And that's because it's consistent. This is within like literally 2 weeks of posting, and maybe even a week of posting. She is constantly real and raw. That's her brand. That's who she is. That's what she's sharing. That's what she wants. Those are the people she wants to connect with. She doesn't want people, maybe she doesn't want people that are like me, that are constantly happy. Even though I'm going through shit, she wants people that are real and raw and not afraid to face what is happening in their lives, to not hide it, but to overcome it, right? And I know Jess personally, so it might be a little bit biased, but I know that that's what she's representing. I know that that's what she's being. So if you go to her page, by the way, Jess, when I was scrolling this, your posts are like on point. Your branding has been very, very, very good over the last little while. I literally did like scrolls up until that first photo. That was as far as I went. But your brand is consistent, okay? So if you go to her page, her brand is consistent. She is who she is consistently. She's real and she's raw. I want to ensure you make it easy. Oh my God, no way, I have my own slide. Make it easy. How to make it easy for people to know who I totally missed a slide. Hang on, I have to go back. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this slide because I think this one is important. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I want to go backtrack. This is a part of the branding that a lot of people get hung up on, and I want to keep it simple for you, but I want to ensure that you understand how important it is. So, what is a color? I want you to ignore the rest of that bottom slide. Don't read that yet. What's the color? Close your eyes. When I ask you, who are you? What's the color that comes to mind, or the shading that comes to mind to represent who you are? I want you to apply this to your pictures and your editing. So for me, it's purple. Obviously, I love purple, as you can tell by the slides. I love purple. Purple is part of my brand. So when I do, well, for one, if you look around my stuff, it's literally all purple. So you're going to see a lot of purple in my pictures. But not only that, I'm purple and bright. Again, I'm happy and joyful and smiling. So all of my pictures are going to be edited to be bright and represent that happy, joyful kind of personality. So I want you to apply this to your pictures. We play on social media, and this is a big part. It's not everything, but it's a big part. Don't just pick a filter that you think is what people want to see. Pick a filter that represents you. Pick a filter that represents your brand. Pick a filter that represents who you are. Your pictures aren't your brand, but they are the visual of your brand. I'm going to say that again. Your pictures are not your brand. They are the visual of what your brand is. My brand is happy, joyful, fitness, traveling, engaged, pizza, wine. Those are part of my brand. They are part of who I am. I'm a self-loving, meditating, fitness lover who wants to help transform people and help them create their own transformation. That's not my pictures. My pictures are the visuals of what my brand is. I want to make sure that that is clear, because that is everything. That is exactly what I got hung up on for so long, literally a year and a half. It paralyzed me because I thought that my brand had to be my pictures, but it's the other way around. Your pictures are the visual of what your brand is. Let your pictures illustrate what you're trying to say, who you're trying to be, what you're trying to be, okay? Okay. They're the first impression of that people are going to get of who you are. So when somebody new comes to your Instagram, they're going to scroll through. Who are you and who do you want to be when this new person who does not know who you are scrolls your Instagram or scrolls your Facebook? Who are you? What are you going to be? What do you want to be? That is what you have to illustrate through your pictures, okay? So for me, I want to be that happy person. I want to be the person that shines this light on people's lives, that people can go to my page and read my stuff because it's always happy and inspiring and positive, because that's who I want to be. No matter what battle I'm overcoming behind the screen, I won't hide it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. I won't fake it, but I want to be happy and positive, and I want to be this shining light on people's lives. So when you go to my page, my pictures are smiling. My pictures are happy. My pictures are bright. They're clear. They're pleasant on the eye. Okay? They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. They're not some fancy photographed, like professionally photographed images. They're just happy. They're happy, okay? If I don't feel happy when I look at my picture, I don't post it. Okay. Okay. I was never good at taking pictures before I started coaching. I was never good at being in pictures. I was never good at editing pictures. I was never good at knowing what looks good. I was not into social media, and my thing that I want to make sure that you understand is that you'll get good at it. You will get good at it with practice. I mean, guys, remember, I literally started in January of 2016. We're going into January of 2018. It's taken me a long time. And just since July, I have started to really consistently pick my images and post images that are me and what I want to represent, okay? So again, make it easy on yourself and don't overcomplicate it and don't stress too much about it, but keep up with it, okay? Okay, wait. Make it easy. These are the 3 steps. 3 steps that you're going to use to set up your profile for your Facebook or your Instagram, both of them, to make it easy for people to connect with you and gain as clients. So I guess this is not necessarily totally connected to your brand, but I wanted to make it easy for people to join in. And I'm going to do some extra training a little bit on this. But number 1, you're going to go and change your profile picture to one that represents who you are. Who do you want people to know you as? That's what your profile picture needs to be. So if you go to my profile picture on my Facebook, you can see that it's not necessarily the best quality. It doesn't really match the way that I edit now, but it's happy, it's exciting, it's pleasant. When I look at my own profile picture, I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I want to represent. So I haven't changed it yet. So find a picture that represents who you are and who you want to be when people look at you instantly. It's in that literally 0.3 seconds that people are going to make that first impression on you. Okay, go change that. Your cover photo, go and use PicMonkey. That's literally what I use to create my cover photo. Make your cover photo describe what you want to give to people. Make it for them, not for you, for them. I personally don't necessarily believe in making a cover photo that just kind of describes who you are. I believe in making a cover photo on describing what you're going to do for people. Okay, so there's like a few adjustments that I need to make on mine, but for the most part, when people come and read my cover photo, they understand that I want to help you with fitness, with health, fitness, and business, right? For your bio and your Instagram, a thing that I learned that is extremely, like ever since I did it, I gained followers way faster. You are going to create your bio in this sequence. Number 1, you're going to tell your followers what it is that you're going to give them. So for me, when you go to my bio, let me read it. I tell them exactly what they are going to expect from me. So I'll show you how to transform your mind and find your self-love. That's what I'm going to do for you on my Instagram. That's my purpose of my Instagram. So you're going to tell them that. What's your purpose of your Instagram? Basically, what are you going to do for that? Number 2, who are you? So I'm a certified personal trainer, wanderlust, but a homebody. I'm 24 and a boss. And then, so those are the kind of the few things about me that I have. Then you're gonna tell them where you are from. I believe that that's like really important because people are gonna connect with where you're from. So I put proud Canadian because Canadians are always proud. So I put proud Canadian. And then the last part is you're gonna tell them what you have for free. So this is where you can put in that, that link. And this is something that everybody's been using and it's amazing, amazing. But use the link tree and the forms. You can literally create it in 30 minutes. It's so easy. Go to type form and create a free form. This is what people are going to use to fill. They're going to fill this out, and then you can get all of this information about them, so you can talk to them about it. So I have one for coaching, and I have one for becoming a client. This is where you get to put that in the link, right? That's that free thing that you're going to give to people. And then in addition, I have a link to my free group for coaching and my free group for health and fitness. And then I also have a link to my blog, where my website, and I have it listed, like I have it labeled as the latest blog that I created. So it's giving them free value. That's the purpose of that link. I don't think that you should have that link and only have an application, because you want to be able to say, like for me, I have joined my free community. So they're going to click on that link and they're going to read all of them. They're going to get more than just what they can fill out, like what they can join, which costs money. They're going to get more than that. Does that make sense? I'm going to open up and make sure. Pink and gray. Yeah. Okay. Go be you. This is the end. Go be you. Rock your freaking brand. Rock who you are. Your brand is who you are. Who you are is good enough. Who you are is good enough. Your brand is not your pictures. Your brand is who you are. Your pictures are the visuals of what your brand is, okay? You are not going to gain clients by having the best photos or the best nutrition tips. You're going to gain clients by being you, so share the shit out of who you are. You're going to gain clients when they trust you, believe you have things in common, that you have things to talk about together, and they're going to join you knowing that you can help them. They have to see that you're going to help them, that you believe that you can help them. Your pictures just show them that. So remember, your pictures are not your brand. Your brand is who you are, and your pictures show that. They are the visual impressions of what your brand is. Your images are the first impression, the visual of what your brand is. They are still important. Make them speak to you. Make them speak who you are. All right. I love you guys. If you have any questions, I will send you the recording, absolutely. If you have any questions, let me know. Send me a message. My dinner's ready, so I'm going to pop off. But let me know. Your brand does not have to be complicated. Do not overcomplicate this at all. Your brand is so, so, so important. I wish I would have learned that a year and a half earlier, but that's okay. Now I'm here to tell you how to do it way earlier. I love you guys. I want to see you implement your brand, implement who you are, get better at editing your pictures to represent who you are and your brand. Mwah. If you have any questions, let me know.